May the 4th be with you.
Yeah, it is Star Wars Day. At least that's what the internet tells me.
That's what the internet says. Whatever the internet says, we have to follow.
Must be true.
Yeah.
Yes, it's May the 4th, Star Wars time. So we're gonna talk about some Star Wars.
Yeah, we're gonna talk about the Star Wars. We're playing Battlefront 2, the old Battlefront 2, because new Battlefront 2 is coming out. Did they even say when that's coming out?
I think November 15th or 17th. Let me check.
Okay.
17th.
17th? Cool.
For PlayStation 4, Xbox One, and PC. What a shock.
I hope it's good.
Yeah, me too.
I hope it's this Battlefront good.
I don't think that's gonna...
You know what's weird? The aspect ratio for this game just changed.
Yeah.
It just completely changed.
Yes, it did.
Alright, I don't know. I haven't played this in a while. Just don't...
Just go with Trooper.
Yeah, just normal story.
Yeah.
Oh, first person.
I'd also do third person.
Yeah, I know. It's... I don't remember how to switch between the two. Okay, let's see.
Yep.
Oh, there we go. Now we're playing
now
Battlefront
we're playing.
2.
Now this is the way to go.
Now this is pod racing. I had to say that.
Yeah, well, let's do a cool trick, like a spin. That's a cool trick.
Wow, that was disgusting.
Can we exclusively speak an Anakin quote? I hate you!
Well, now that we're 95% through them, is there any more?
Chascuni Dopot Slamo. That's my favorite.
That's a hole. Anyway,
wow, yes
so,
it is. Good job there.
For some reason in my brain, I saw that as a puddle. You've seen, obviously, the newest one, right? 7?
Yeah, of course.
Which, or I should say, just, the remake. The Star Wars remake.
No. No. Characters are different.
They are different. You're right.
People didn't give Return of the Jedi crap about having another Death Star.
That's true.
And, like, the Death Star in 7 was basically like a side plot.
Yeah,
like, other
it
stuff
was
more important. It really didn't come in until later on.
Did you read the theories on the reason why there was another Death Star?
I think we talked about it.
Yeah.
It's because the Force is, like, willing...
Like, it needs it to survive.
To go over.
Yeah.
It wants both sides of the Force to survive. Which, if you've seen the trailer for the new movie, Luke Skywalker doesn't really seem like he wants any Force users around ever anymore forever.
Yeah, for the history of ever.
Kind of understandably. Because of what happened in the backstory of 7, where Kylo Ren just straight up killed everybody.
Yeah. Yeah.
Pulling a granddaddy and killing everybody.
Pulling a granddaddy. His old granddad Vader.
That boy. I don't know. I have a lot to say about that.
Kylo?
Yeah.
Let me hear it, because I want to...
So,
I have some opinions, too.
I don't mind him as a character.
Yeah.
People complained about the tantrums.
Yeah.
But I get the tantrums. I think he did the tantrums because he's constantly being seduced by the light side, and he needed something to keep him angry.
Very true.
So everything set him off.
Dang it.
And I also really like the idea of having a character be seduced by the light side, because we've never actually seen that.
That is true.
We've only seen characters seduced by the dark side, and that's kind of old hat now, and that's boring. And I also like how creepy Kylo is. During that interrogation scene, he's really creepy.
That's a great... that's not okay.
I like that he's creepy. He kind of feels like more of a threat than Vader did in the first movie.
Right.
Because all Vader felt like was he was a lackey to all the Moffs. Like, he had to do what Grand Moff Tarkin said. But Kylo has his own, like, sect, like, special ops corps.
He does.
Who we haven't really seen yet. They're in the trailer for 8. They're in there briefly. And there were theories about them before Rogue One came out, and everyone in Rogue One died. Spoilers. Because the theories were the people in Rogue One were the Knights of Ren. Which makes sense, because if you look at the concept art for the Knights of Ren, they're very, very similar to the Rogue One crew.
Okay.
And that would have kind of been a cool twist, but they would have been really old at that point.
It's cool. It's cool, like they have like that sort of. I'm playing this on Elite, by the way, and I think they just do more damage on this mode.
Yeah, and you
like how am I? Lost. Yeah, I did lose because they shoot me twice, and then I'm at 4 health.
Well, I mean, to make it realistic for stormtroopers,
that's exactly why.
That was my get shot once and then die.
That's my exact thinking.
Granted, clone troopers were invincible until they became stormtroopers.
Yeah.
So, whatever.
So Knights of Ren, is that like a
That is a group of how many people is that? I'm gonna look that up real quick.
that was in the story, right?
They're
Like
in
main story?
they're in the flashback Rey has when
Okay.
she picks up the saber.
Oh, I remember. Okay.
They're
Yeah.
the armored people with Kylo, and that's
Gotcha.
all you see of them in the set. And they're mentioned in the novelization, and I think they're in some of the other books that I haven't read yet, which I feel like I should because apparently the books are really good.
That's I've only read part of one of the Jedi books.
Yeah.
There's a book? Isn't there a book that's like it focuses more on like Jedi history and stuff like that?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's the only one that I've ever like picked up.
Yeah, and I don't know if that's canon anymore.
Yeah, exactly.
But I feel like now that I'm sad a lot of the expanded universe stuff isn't canon anymore. But a lot of it was also really, really stupid.
Right.
So I kind of like that they're picking and choosing what they want, which we kind of theorized.
Is that like Force preventing weasels? Is that like?
Yeah, that was dumb. But like Admiral Thrawn is in Rebels because he was an expanded universe character and people loved him.
Gotcha.
And I'm happy they're putting him in. I like that Disney's picking and choosing, but I also like that with the books, I think Disney has a little more quality control over what's being put out.
Right. Okay.
Because people seem to like the books a lot. Some of the comics aren't as good, but some of them are really good. Like there was like a C-3PO comic that was like how he got the red arm, and it's like who cares?
Yeah, who cares? Who really cares
C-3PO
about that?
sucks.
Yeah.
I don't like C-3PO. He's really
you,
annoying.
You and I are in the same camp.
And I hate him.
I don't like CPO, and a lot of people give me shit for not liking him, but I just don't find him funny or entertaining in any way. Or
Also, I've heard Anthony Daniels isn't the nicest
you really?
guy.
It doesn't surprise me.
But yeah, R2 and BB-8 all the way, and K2, whatever his name was.
Yeah,
From Rogue One.
from
I
Rogue
really
One,
liked
yeah.
him. Alan Tudyk did a good job with that character.
I like it. I like the way he was designed and created.
Yeah, he was very reminiscent of the droid from Knights of the Old Republic. I forget his name. He was cool. He was funny. He killed people.
Yeah.
All
the qualities make a great droid.
But like my other problem I have with a lot of people complaining about Episode 7, is it's part 1 of a trilogy.
I guess I can destroy that. Yeah.
We don't know the backstory of everyone yet.
I think there's too much. There was too much like wanted explanation for that. For
exactly,
Episode 7
and
people.
that takes away a lot of the magic when everything's explained right away.
Yeah.
I think we're gonna get more explanation in 8.
I think so too. I think 8's going to be very lore heavy. I don't think we're going to expect too much crazy action.
I don't either. I think it's gonna be lore heavy as well,
Okay.
kind of like how Empire was.
Yeah,
know?
exactly.
There was the big battle at the beginning, which was amazing, and then a lot of lore, a little bit of action sprinkled in, but not a lot, and then action at the end.
Right.
But very emotional action, which was missing from the prequels.
Oh my gosh, that was the thing. I think the thing that I think a lot of people missed out on for 7 was the level of exploration in the world, between the different worlds. You know.
Yeah.
Just world building, which is very important for movies like this. You know.
It is, but I also think since we're so used to the universe at this point,
That's true.
we didn't really need that.
Gotcha.
And really, I don't feel like there was that much world building in the other ones. There was a lot
No.
in 1 because he was like, "Hey, Mos Eisley sucks, man. Don't
Was
go
it
there."
Return of the Jedi with more politics in it?
No.
No.
There was a little bit of politics with the Rebels, but not like the prequels.
Right. Yeah.
Where you watch the Senate for 20 minutes.
Yeah, man. I'm just so bad at remembering Star Wars stuff.
Oh yeah, no.
Same thing with Lord of the Rings. Like it's like growing up, I didn't have that many friends who were into it.
Yeah.
So, and I was like the one kid.
Oh yeah, no, I totally understand.
Yeah.
I actually got people into Star Wars.
That's right.
In elementary school.
That's pretty cool.
Before Episode 2 came out, because I was all for it. My parents loved the originals.
Right.
And like I loved them too. I thought Episode 1 was good back then because I was a dumb kid. And I was like, dude, you got to go see Episode 2. He's like, I don't really like Star Wars, but I got him into it.
Yep.
And he ended up loving Jango Fett, and it was hilarious.
Oh god.
I make fun of him
You
all the
loved
time
Django.
for Django getting murdered.
Oh my
at the
god.
end. Because he was sad. He was like, no.
Good.
He was also the guy I had to argue about when he always said Aragorn was the most important character in Lord of the Rings, which I don't agree with at all.
No.
I think Samwise
I would say Samwise.
kind of was, because he actually got the ring where it needed to go. Without that, Aragorn would have been fighting endless orcs forever.
Yeah.
But yeah, anyway, back to Star Wars.
Lord of the Rings for another discussion. Because there's a lot of stuff that, you know, you'll definitely have to explain to me. I forgot you can't jump and shoot in this game. There's a lot of stuff you're going to have to explain to me, because, like, Star Wars-wise, I know from the movies and the one book that I skimmed through at that age, I got defeated again. I need to change it back to normal.
Yeah, I think you need to go to normal.
Yeah.
You got a little cocky. Hey, don't get cocky.
I can't get cocky.
Don't.
Especially when I'm playing as a clone. I can't do that.
That's the quote. I'm bad with quotes, everybody, unless they're Anakin quotes, and then I'm great with them.
Let me create my new save game.
But, yeah, I don't know. I like Kylo. I know people had problems with him. I actually liked every character in that movie.
Kylo, I also had no problems with... I like that he threw tantrums. I like that he was kind of a kid, in a way.
Exactly.
Because that's the best way for him to be influenced.
Well, it makes sense, because a lot of Sith characters...
Going normal.
They don't become Sith that young. They start as Jedi, generally, and then they're seduced over.
Right.
But I think he grew up differently because he grew up with the dark side. So it makes sense that he'd manifest his emotions like that. Because being a Sith is all about getting pissed.
Right.
But yeah, I like Kylo. I actually like every character except Phasma. I feel like she was wasted. They put her everywhere. They're like, look, this
Phasma was wasted, and I did not like that.
They're like, here's this awesome female stormtrooper in chrome armor.
Yeah.
Aren't you excited? She's in two scenes.
And the setup for her, I mean, the first scene with her is like, oh, she's a fucking badass.
Yeah, and then...
Phasma, please grab his lightsaber with your hands alone.
Yeah, and then at the end, you know, Finn's just like, I'll throw you down the trash compactor.
Yeah, exactly. And it's this big comedic moment, you know.
And it's like, she said, the woman who plays her, I forget her name, she's in Game of Thrones.
Right.
Gwendolyn...
Oh, yeah,
something.
yeah, I know she is.
She's said she's going to have a bigger role in the upcoming movies, and I hope that's true.
I hope that's true, too.
Because I just think she's a cool character.
She's really cool, yeah.
Like, I know a lot of people have problems with Rey. I actually liked Rey because we don't know her backstory.
I think that a lot of the opinions on the movie are just based on assumption, really.
They are. And that's kind of annoying.
There's really no patience.
Poe's really cool. Finn's really cool. I like BB-8 a lot.
I love BB-8.
He's so expressive.
I think unanimously everyone liked BB-8.
No, I think so too. If you see how BB-8 toys sold to people of all ages, I think everyone liked BB-8.
Yeah.
He's so expressive. He's the most expressive droid.
Yeah, 100%.
Had, vocally and physically.
I think also him being in the movie helped propel droids as a element of Star Wars.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, like I feel like it gave the other droids like more feeling and more expectation towards them. You know what I mean?
This is one debate I always kind of want them to do in Star Wars. Struggle. I think we need a droid's rights.
Yeah.
Struggle because
they have their own language too, right?
They have their own language. They're sentient. They have emotions. Clearly, not just C-3PO.
Yeah.
But they don't get the rights they should.
Yeah. I mean,
they're basically slaves.
I was gonna say they're treated as slaves,
and it's
I'm
screwed
trash.
up. There are other slaves in the Star Wars universe, but that's usually bad people doing that. But these are people we think are good, treating these sentient beings like slaves.
Yeah, it's really interesting to me that that's the way it goes in like this universe.
And if not, I don't think they should put that in a movie because it'd be a little.
Yeah.
Maybe in a spin-off.
In a spin-off,
I wouldn't mind a spin-off, but
maybe even like an almost HBO style special. In a way,
like a mini-series.
Yeah, I think that would be pretty rad.
It would be cool because you can do politics in Star Wars. Why is the tank doing that?
I have no idea.
Incredible.
That is the best. He is drunk.
but it's not even controlling the way it should be. It's like
I'm gonna get you.
It looked like it was in the middle of a tornado. It's still doing it. Awesome.
Yep.
That's great.
I hope you're ready for my special attack.
That's pretty great. But you can do politics in Star Wars.
It's just the way it's done.
You just need to do it right.
If the politics in Star Wars were done how House of Cards handles politics, I feel like then I would be super into it.
Exactly.
Like, if I feel like I'm wearing a shirt and tie and sweating as well, then you're doing a good job at your politics.
Because I feel like the idea behind a lot of the politics of the prequels was interesting, like the way Palpatine got his way up and then basically took over. Lucas couldn't write something like that.
Yeah.
And he didn't handle it right. If he had better writers, I think it would have been a lot better.
I agree with that.
And if he had other directors do it, because he's not a very good director, his main direction usually consists of faster, more intense, which really doesn't help.
Right.
So, yeah, I don't know. I think a miniseries would be cool. A live-action show would be cool.
A live-action show would be cool. I feel like it depends on like who directs it.
Exactly.
How it's casted.
It would make sense to do it on Netflix.
Yeah.
Because Disney has that pairing with Netflix, it seems.
What is even happening with this?
With all of the Marvel shows.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of Disney movies on Netflix right now, surprisingly enough. I feel a Netflix miniseries would be a really cool way to go with it. It's one of my favorite things about the Clone Troopers. All of their weapons are EMPs.
Yeah, it's very intelligent. Like,
but they were able to kill Jedis with the EMPs, which makes no sense. Because if I'm remembering correctly, during the Order 66 scene, their blasters are still shooting blue bolts.
Yeah, I think so. I think you're right.
So I don't know how that killed the Jedis, but whatever. I don't care.
Isn't an EMP like...
It's an electromagnetic pulse.
So I'm guessing if you want to...
If it's strong enough, it could kill someone.
I figure if it has to be a strong enough thing, then maybe.
Yeah.
Because your body does have a magnetic field, so...
With enough of that going through the body, it'll stop the heart, probably. But I just think it's weird that they didn't get real blasters to kill. Also, I think it's weird that a bunch of clone troopers could kill a Jedi. There's a really good series, I forget, is it Bladed Media? It might be. He does a series, if Episode 1 were good, if Episode 2 were good, if Episode 3 were good. And he kind of revises it. It's still kind of the same basic story.
Right.
But he does, it's basically a treatment for how it could be better. So he basically writes a treatment.
Okay.
And then in the Episode 2 and Episode 3, he actually gets an artist to draw, like, storyboard images for it.
I like the sound of that.
Really, really cool.
That sounds
They're
really cool.
really good. After I showed my girlfriend the prequels, because she'd only seen Episode 1, after I'd shown her all of them, after each movie we'd watch those videos.
Okay.
And she really liked that. She agreed with everything he had to say, basically. But we should give those a watch sometime because those are really good.
Yeah, we should.
But we should probably talk about Battlefront more, unless you have anything else to say on Episode 7.
I'm just, before we talk about Battlefront, what do you anticipate pretty much for Episode 8? How do you feel that's going to be? Because I didn't see Rogue One. I'm gonna wait for that. Yeah. I'm gonna wait on that. I
I don't think Rogue One's gonna impact it at all.
No, Rogue One was his own thing.
You know, it's before It's before 4. It's like a minute before 4 happens.
Right.
But I don't know. I feel they've said they don't want to retread Empire, which is a good idea. Now, some of it, from the trailer, it looks kind of like it's retreading Empire a bit.
Yeah.
But that's just because all we really see are images of Rey training with Luke.
Right.
And, you know, Luke training with Yoda was such a big part of Empire. But I feel like that's not what it's going to be all about. Because they'd get backlash.
Right.
Because they did retread a bit in 7, and I didn't really mind that. But if they retread more in 8, I feel like that would be a problem.
Yeah, I hope 8. I mean, just me as you know, I'm not very fluent in Star Wars, unfortunately. But I hope that 8 does enough. I hope it doesn't spend too much time trying to appease through action and does a lot more explaining.
Oh yeah, I agree.
I feel like that's what we need right now.
And I mean that is what Empire did.
Yeah.
And you can do that, just do it differently. There are some scenes, it looks like there's going to be a raid on one of the Republic's base because, like, Poe's X-Wing gets blown up.
Right.
And there's clips of Kylo with his scar being all angry.
Okay.
And there's clips of the Knights of Ren, so I think they'll play a more important part.
They just sound cool. Sound like a really cool metal band.
Yeah, it does.
Knights of Ren.
I feel like there's going to be a lot of philosophy.
Yeah. I feel like they've been setting up for that,
which I'm fine with.
Yeah.
Because the way, like, Luke has the line in the movie where I'm paraphrasing here in the trailer. Sorry, I'm paraphrasing. He basically says, "The Jedi, they shouldn't be a thing anymore."
Yeah.
Which I think is an interesting concept because they've caused a lot of
They have.
crap.
I mean, honestly, there are so many theories about are the Jedi the actual bad guys and stuff like that.
I mean, both the Sith and the Jedi have caused
This guy.
crap. I don't like the Jedi very much. I like the newer Jedi. I like Luke's kind of Jedi.
Yeah.
Because they're allowed to have emotions and love.
Yeah,
people.
and be a part of. I mean,
Society.
You can actually you can take the regular old Jedi as an allegory for other things, but
yeah.
I do like the new hipster Jedi 2.0s that are like
I don't like the old Jedi way.
No,
you can't love.
No,
You can't show emotion. Because any emotion leads to the dark side, apparently. Even joy.
Yeah.
Which makes no sense.
Oh, you'll have too much joy.
I get how anger would.
Yeah.
But...
Yeah, anger and jealousy and the darker emotions, obviously.
Yeah, but those aren't even always dark. Because it's not black and white
like
that.
Exactly.
So that's my big problem. It's all black and white. But I feel like they're going to change that.
They will. I
hope they're gonna.
I'm sure. There has to be someone watching those old movies and saying to themselves, and just reading the old content and saying to themselves, "Yeah, no."
Yeah. Exactly. I mean, there's a lot of people who do that.
Yeah.
I'm hoping 8 does to the Jedi what Dragon Ball Super does to Saiyans.
Yeah.
It kind of completely rewrites how they work.
Yeah. Shows that they aren't exactly the end all be all
of anything, and that they have limits to what they can do.
That's the thing is like I feel like that's why I like Rey as a character so much, because I feel like she's not just this chaotic good.
No.
You know, she herself definitely has her own selfish qualities. I mean, she didn't want to leave her planet.
Yep.
You know,
she has fears.
Yeah, exactly.
She didn't want to miss, her parents.
Yeah.
Who we think left them there. I don't know. I'm not sure if it was her parents because we don't know enough.
Yeah.
We just see her being left by a ship. That's all we know. And people's complaints about her being like God tier and a Mary Sue, I find are kind of ridiculous. Especially the Mary Sue one, because if you look back at Luke, Luke was 100% a Lucas Mary Sue.
Yeah. I agree with that.
And Anakin was such a God tier character. It's not even funny.
Anakin was overpowered, 100%.
He's the best. Like, humans normally can't pod race because they don't have the senses for it.
Yeah.
Oh no, he's the best one in the rim.
Oh yeah,
he can fly a starfighter immediately.
Argument that I've had with friends in the past is that they did him a service they did Anakin a service by nerfing him by creating Darth Vader, making him Darth Vader.
Yeah, no, they did.
They nerfed Anakin. That's the best way to do it.
Because Anakin was so ridiculous and so powerful, and he could just get away with things. He murdered a whole tribe of Tusken Raiders.
Yeah.
And after he goes on his tirade about how he killed them all, he killed the women, the children, he slaughtered them like animals.
Yeah.
Padme just turns to him and goes, "To be angry is to be human."
Yeah, it's like, oh yeah, to be human is to just kill and just take innocent life like that.
Yeah, exactly. Well, not really innocent. They stole his mom and did things to his mom.
Yeah,
but the children didn't.
They didn't do anything.
I don't think
exactly.
the women did.
Nope.
It's ridiculous.
You just wiped it. Justifying genocide. The Anakin
exactly.
way. Yeah.
That's incredible. That Padme was like, yeah, whatever.
Yeah, exactly. Like, yeah, whatever. It's cool.
Hey, this ain't the planet I'm in control of. Whatever. Also, I love that queens are elected. But
yeah, that's brilliant.
Also, Naboo's so weird. It has a mixture of Japanese
it is
and
interesting.
Like European.
Yeah.
Because there's gondolas in Naboo, but the dress is very Japanese. Yep. And it's stupid.
It's pretty fucking dumb.
All
intents and purposes, Star Wars is kind of fucking dumb, but in the best of ways.
Yeah. Like, the originals were dumb too, but I think they played with that dumbness and they joked about it. But the prequels were so serious.
I didn't like the prequels. Took themselves too seriously.
When it wasn't for the comic relief characters, they took themselves far too seriously. Yeah. But yeah, anyway, let's talk about the game.
Yeah. So Battlefront. So you played the Battlefront 1 and 2 that I'm playing. I'm playing Battlefront 2 right now.
The original 2?
Yeah, this is the original 2. This is on PC. When I was growing up, I played this on PS2.
I played it on PS2 as well.
Yeah.
I love the second one. The second one's genius.
The second one's amazing. Battlefront 2, honestly, this game is just playing it now. It
still holds up.
It holds up. It's fun.
It still looks pretty good.
It doesn't look terrible.
Like some of the textures aren't great.
Yeah,
but the character animations aren't bad.
This game isn't trash. It isn't. There are people who would argue against me, but maybe I have some.
I don't think a lot would.
Yeah, I've heard, but they're usually older reviewers and stuff who don't like this game.
Yeah.
But for my age, I feel like this game is pretty good because even at the time when I played this, I wasn't big into Star Wars.
Yeah.
When I played this game helped me get big into Star Wars.
Oh, I know. I've heard a lot of people who aren't big into Star Wars, but they really like the Battlefront games because they're just well-made games.
Yeah. This game helped me learn about the droids. It just gave me like different views on just the entire universe.
Yeah, exactly. It's also nice as a storyline. So thanks for getting on that for the next one, EA.
Yeah, thanks. So let's talk about that. So the first one, this guy just hopped immediately in the one that spawned. The first Battlefront, not Battlefront 1 for the PS2 and Xbox,
but Battlefront 2015.
Yeah, 2015.
I guess
call
that's
it
what we can
the
call
EA
it.
Battlefront.
Yeah, Battlefront EA.
They, for some reason, thought, oh, you know what people really loved about fucking Star Wars Battlefront was the multiplayer.
Yeah, let's get in on that.
Yeah, everyone who had great internet connection for multiplayer back in the early 2000s,
Also, what everyone loved about Battlefront was the first-person aspect.
Exactly.
I don't know. I know one person who played in first person.
I did not play in first person.
Me either. I was always
I did not.
I was always third.
I was always third person.
It plays better.
It does. It definitely plays better.
But they made so many mistakes, I think, with the EA Battlefront.
Yeah.
How many maps were there when it launched? 3, I think?
It was something very slim.
It was 2 or 3.
Yeah.
And then they go, hey, for the season pass, that's 110 total.
Yeah.
That's $50 extra bucks.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you'll get like 7 maps total.
Yeah. I just shot my own ship.
Okay.
All right, see you later. All right. Glad we got that on camera.
Yeah, oh boy, 7 maps.
Yeah.
No aerial combat.
It was 100% a cash grab. I mean,
no doubt.
There was
and
no.
I think it was also rushed because they're like, we need to get this out for the next movie.
Mm-hmm.
We need to get this out to coincide with 7. There's a map. There's a Jakku map, so it'll be like 7.
Mm-hmm.
No space combat.
Did that upset you as much as it upset like other people, including myself?
It really upset me.
The lack of space combat in that game. I don't know. I don't know what they were thinking, because in this game,
it's really good.
It's all about, for me, it's all about the space combat.
I love boarding ships.
Mm-hmm.
I love taking them over. I love blowing them up and getting out of there.
And blowing them up feels so good.
Being a hero. It does. It's really cool.
It feels so good.
Because you have to go blow up the generators, you have to blow up all the control panels,
Mm-hmm.
you have to basically fight through a wave of enemy combatants.
Yeah.
And it's very satisfying.
It is.
And it wasn't even that there was no space combat that bugged me a lot. What bugged me a lot was we have the technology now to do land in space.
Yeah.
But let's not do it.
I feel like that's something that someone probably pitched and it got shot down.
I think I heard that it was. I
Yeah.
think they were like, we need to put this in, and they were like, no, too much time. It'll take too long. Which
I understand, because just restraints are a stupid thing.
Oh, they are.
But
especially when it's a company with as much money as EA.
They're one of the worst companies.
I know they are.
Yeah.
But I feel like when you have that much money, you'd want to put more of it, whatever. Because they know a game like this will sell.
They do.
It's Star Wars.
Just the Star Wars name alone will pique interest.
Exactly.
Why not make something good to advance that?
Yeah, the Star Wars name and then tacking Battlefront onto it, people are going to buy it. And people bought the first one.
Yeah. People love the first. I mean, there's some people who love the first one. I thought it was cool. It was fun. It was fun to play with friends, but
it looks beautiful.
It does. Oh, it's a gorgeous game.
And but just the fact that there's no single player.
Oh, this is Clone Trooper football. Oh shit.
Which, I'm not the biggest competitive multiplayer guy. I prefer solo.
Yeah, and the multiplayer, I would tell you because I put a good amount of hours into that game. It just feels too competitive.
Yeah,
it just wasn't fun for me.
I don't like that.
Yeah.
That's what I like about these games. You can play them by yourself, and the AI is pretty good if you want to just do AI matches.
Yeah.
Plus, they had that really cool conquest mode in this.
I do really like Conquest.
Conquest is really fun.
Yeah.
I hope they put that back in the new one. I don't think they will.
There are a lot of things I hope they put in the new one.
But what we know about the new one is there is a single player mode.
Yeah, so that was one of their. Hey, look what we're doing! Check out my single player mode. And it's like no one's happy because it should have been
in the first
one. In the first one, exactly.
I suppose there's also reports that there will be space battles.
Yeah.
Up to 24 players. And as many TIE fighters and X-wings as you can.
So here's one of my favorite moments in this game.
Getting on a ship.
Getting on a ship. Choosing that ship.
See, this was a perfect time to talk about space.
Yeah, it was.
Because, I guess they're putting them back in the game. I don't know if they'll play the same way.
I don't know either.
Um,
I thought my controls were inverted. I was about to shit myself.
I hope it does play the same way because I really like this. I just hope you can go. My biggest problem with space battles in this is once you're in a ship, once you board a ship, it kind of lacks depth. There's only like 4.
Yeah, you got to hang out in the rooms and stuff. How do I even
There's
dodge
only
in
like
this?
4 of them.
I don't even remember how to like dodge in this, dude. I've never again PC for me playing this game on
Exactly.
PC.
It's weird.
It's really strange
It's
and
weird.
it's kind of bad. How do I roll?
Yeah, the space controls are.
Oh god, these
do
are
a spin. That's a cool trick. Anakin quote.
so control is to roll, and there you go. Hope you guys enjoyed that little spectacle. Yeah, I do also hope that those ships have more depth inside. I hope that they actually have actual security systems and craziness like that. You know?
Exactly. And that when you're playing, maybe more people will help you board the ship instead of taking down doing dogfights. Because
my
I've
gosh.
had a lot of times where it's just me alone in the ship.
Yep. Far too common.
Because I actually haven't played the EA Battlefront. I've just seen footage of it.
Yeah.
But the Death Star map looks really cool. Some of the
It's
ship
not
interior
bad.
maps look really cool. And if you can kind of translate that to a Star Destroyer and go into a Star Destroyer, that'd be really, really cool.
I want to do that. I want to be able to hop into a Star Destroyer. I want to be able to
Go to all the rooms.
go to all the rooms.
Maybe sabotage
Fucking.
their systems.
It's
so
really
they
not
can't-
that easy on this
No,
mouse.
it's not. Maybe sabotage their system so they can't get more ties out there. At least for a couple of seconds. Just short circuit it. So, because you can blow up the ties in this.
Make it
they respawn.
Yeah,
like
make
that.
it multifaceted.
Exactly.
Do it so like someone has to be in this room while someone's doing this.
Yeah.
Or your team have to be coordinated outside or
Exactly.
something. Something cool like that.
Maybe before you have to get in, you need to take down all of the guns on the ship's exterior.
Yeah.
Or else there's nowhere to get in. So you need to do some dogfighting, but then you need to get in there and take care of it.
That'd be so rad.
I think that'd be a really cool way to do it.
Because you see, like I just entered in here and it's boring as hell.
Yeah,
This is not entertaining.
it is pretty boring.
It is. It's pretty trash.
The hangar's big and
Empty. There's nothing. There's no bustling going on. There's nothing crazy going on. Also,
can you get in the rooms?
I don't
Aren't the
think
doors
I.
opening?
Oh wait, hang on. I gotta.
You can't take over an
What is
enemy.
my object? Hang on. I gotta remember my objective.
Oh yeah, because we're playing story mode. Duh.
We are playing story. We
need
gotta
to
destroy
destroy
that.
fire.
Yeah,
Okay.
that little guy. I do want one. I do like the droid ships a bit better.
Yeah, they have cool designs.
So I kind of want to take one of these. Nope.
And they move faster.
Nope. They do move a bit faster. Get out of here.
Kind of like ties. Ties are really fast.
Yeah,
They're weak, but they're fast.
they are fast. Nope.
Hey, get out of the way.
Nope.
No.
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 Get out of the Oh god! I love that they're leaving my ship alone. They just want their ships. They're like mine. Ah, you nerd!
Go.
Don't destroy it! He's trying to destroy it before I can get in.
Go.
Ha ha!
And then
All
you
right.
just,
They're
I'd
just-
love it if you just hit the lip and exploded.
Oh my god. But stuff, little moments like that. I remembered playing multiplayer on PS2 was actually one of the best. It was like the first multiplayer thing I did on PS. I think the only thing I ever done multiplayer on PS2 was.
There wasn't a lot of multiplayer on PS2.
There were some fighting game things here and there, but none of those were.
Final Fantasy.
Yeah, there were none of those were like super crazy interesting to me at the time.
No, because at the time, all the online was Xbox.
Yeah,
Because
exactly.
of live and everything.
Mm-hmm.
But I actually never played this online. I've always done solo.
It's okay.
Maybe like multiplayer, split screen. I think I probably had done before.
Right.
But I never did online.
Yeah, the online for this, again, it wasn't terrible. Arguably, it was probably the best multiplayer shooter you could have played online back then.
On PS2.
On PS2, yeah.
Probably. But
Is that thing like right above? Oh, it's right up here. Hello.
I'm hoping they fix a lot
Mm-hmm.
with Battlefront 2. They haven't said a lot yet, which EA likes to do.
Right.
There's probably going to be a dump of information at E3 for this.
I think so. I think there will be.
Because we've had the announcement, and I think they're going to be like, hey, here's a thing we've talked about. And they're just going to tell you a bunch of crap about it. They're probably going to talk about the season pass for it. They're probably...
Didn't they say there wasn't going to be a season pass this time around?
Did they say that?
You mind looking into that? I don't...
Yeah, let me look.
I could have... Maybe it's something else I'm thinking of here, but I thought they said there was going to be no season pass this time.
I feel like E3's never going to stop doing that. EA, sorry.
Yeah.
E3, EA, Ease.
Ease.
Whatever.
That's all money.
Yes.
That's all it is.
I love the number of people, like, fans who want to go to E3, and I'm like, it's not for you.
Well, they're opening up to the public, and it's not going to be the same E3 they think it is, honestly.
It's for press.
Yeah.
Like, people think it's going to be like, I'm going to get to play all these games, but it's for the press.
Mm-hmm.
If you want something like that, you know, MagFest or PAX.
How do I destroy this ship?
Or one of those. Because those are for the fans.
Yeah. Yeah.
They do announcements at those, but for the fans.
I just feel like it's just unnecessary. We don't need that stuff anymore. I mean,
that's what Nintendo kind of.
They have Treehouse now. You know, that's what they do all their announcements on is on Nintendo Treehouse. And I mean, again, E3 I think is a cool thing, but it's just not the same E3 that people probably think it is.
It's not.
I guess they just like the novelty of being able to go, which is fine, which is understandable. If you want to go to E3, that's your.
I mean, I can
cool.
see more people going now because they might have YouTube channels where they talk about games.
Yeah.
And they're not part of the press, but they still have a channel where they do talk about what they do. But let me see what they had to say about Season Pass. Bernd Dierner, I'm probably mispronouncing that, I apologize, Bernd. The creative director for Battlefront 2 said in comments reported by Mashable, "We don't have a season pass. Not much wiggle room there, given the posture Titanfall 2 took with DLC. No premium game content, cosmetic items only, sold for a premium. Yeah. I guess that's what's up, interestingly enough.
I mean,
I don't know how Titanfall 2 handled DLC, actually.
Titanfall 2, I don't think they did Season Pass.
Okay.
No, I think they had one, but I don't think that they... I mean, you unlocked, like, everything in that, if I remember correctly. Yeah. In Titanfall 2.
Yeah. What I'm assuming is, instead of having a Season Pass, they're just going to pump it full of microtransactions.
Yeah, it might have the MOBA effect.
Because they like doing that. EA loves doing that.
Yeah.
That was really bad with Dead Space 3.
Man, I was so upset by that, because Dead Space 1 and 2 were so good.
A lot of people were upset with that.
Oh my god.
Go build things at the bench. You want to buy it instead?
Yeah.
That's bullshit.
Like, come on.
They need to quit that shit.
They're not going to.
No, they're never going to.
Because again, they still have that old business model.
Exactly. I mean, it's run by a bunch of old dudes.
It is. That's like everything nowadays.
Well, and people say, you know, Nintendo's bad with that because they're Japanese and it's run by old dudes and they don't understand social media as much. But I think every company's like that.
Every company's like that.
Good job. I think
I didn't see him till last second.
I think the other ship went through unscathed because he kept flying.
You motherfucker. No, this is my ship. Hello? Get out of here.
But yeah, I have a feeling there's going to be a lot of microtransactions. Now,
there's going to be a lot of it.
I don't mind microtransactions if it's not game changing, if it doesn't affect the mechanics.
That's what I don't mind about, like for Overwatch, for example.
Yeah,
I don't
just
mind
skins and stuff.
I don't mind putting it in for skins.
Whatever.
I don't mind that at all. Exactly.
Because that doesn't fuck the balance. But if you can buy like new weapons and armor and stuff, that completely ruins the balance.
It does. I don't think I'm.
That they hopefully worked on. I hope they worked on balance. I know they sometimes don't.
Yeah.
Because I heard there were some balancing issues in the first Battlefront. Class-wide.
There was, and there are a lot of people. There were the people who obviously played those classes, and okay, there are those people who. Do I seriously have to be inside right now? I'm gonna be upset if I just flew out of there and I have to be inside. I don't think I do though. No, I just have to.
No, you have to blow up the
communications.
Yeah, communications. Yeah. Which you could do from the inside, but whatever.
It's not gonna let me. It just the doors don't open.
Yeah, I know. That's why this map's kind of dumb in story mode.
Yeah.
It's fun in single player with the AI or conquest because you can just do whatever you want.
Yeah.
But Yeah, so I'm hoping something like this for the space combat in Battlefront.
Yeah, that'd be cool. And I understand people were like, how are you gonna get that many players for on ground as well as like in? Now I gotta go inside. There's people who are sort of saying, oh, how are you gonna accommodate that many players on the ground and also inside and on the planet and stuff? But I was like, well, it doesn't have to be like on the biggest planet.
No,
it can just be a fraction of a planet,
or just
too.
a moon.
Yeah, exactly, or just a restricted portion of a planet. It doesn't
like,
have to be like the entire planet.
If it's Endor,
exactly,
Endor's small.
But even if it is a larger planet, I mean, again, it can just be like a sectioned off area that's being held.
I mean, that's usually how maps work anyway.
Yeah, exactly.
When you're on Tatooine, you're not on the whole planet. It's just Mos Eisley. You're not even on all of Endor.
Right.
There's no way they'd be able to, render that and generate that and have that many people.
I feel like with today's technology, I mean,
I don't know. I think there'd be...
you look at Final Fantasy 15, like
yeah, but I think
you can get a lot on a disc.
I think there'd be a lot of pop-in.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Because even something as, with such low requirements as Minecraft, that's really not graphically taxing at all.
Yeah.
When you already visit somewhere, there's still a good bit of pop-in.
There is.
When you're going back.
Yeah.
And, I think with something like this, that's even more taxing, and far more frantic.
I agree.
I feel like pop-in would kind of be a problem if we did a whole planet. Plus, traveling around would be excruciating. I mean, they have done full planet stuff. I mean, No Man's Sky is multiple planets.
It is, yeah.
And air to space, but look, and ground to space, but look how that turned out.
We haven't talked about No Man's Sky.
I'm still interested in it. I still kind of want to play it.
I wish I had it because then you and I can play it and talk about it.
I'd definitely try it.
Yeah.
I think my expectations weren't the same as other people. I was excited about it when it was first announced. But my expectations weren't what other people's had because I didn't pay attention. I don't pay attention to game news and just game journalism as much as I used to. I used to be all on that.
Yeah, it depends for me nowadays, but yeah, I'm the same.
I knew a lot back when Destructoid still did their YouTube show.
Right.
Because that always informed me. And it was funny. They were funny people.
They were really funny.
But now I just don't even visit any of the sites. It's just...
I think Kotaku and Polygon are the two I go to now.
Yeah.
I listen to Giant Bomb's podcast, and then I read their reviews occasionally, but outside of those three, I don't think I go anywhere.
It also depends what the game is.
Same, yeah. I think that people are obviously biased depending on the game. So.
Oh yeah, exactly. But I want to know more about certain games I'm interested in. And even then, I don't really pay that much attention. I was excited for Resident Evil 7. I really didn't pay attention.
Yeah. That game's so good.
Yeah, I really want to play it. It looks great. I was a little worried that it was in first person, but
it does it justice.
From everything I've seen, I think that was the best way to go.
He's crouched. Look at him. I mean, so overall, what do you think the Battlefront 2, the next one's going to be? What do you think it's going to have in it? You just got the game, you open the box, pop it in your PS4 box, and then
I feel like there'll be a couple of maps.
Yeah.
I'm hoping more than what one had. I know for a fact one of them is going to tie in with Episode 8.
It's going to have to. There's no way it wouldn't.
It's released a month before the movie comes out. I feel like I'm hoping they'll work on that balancing issue I heard about.
Yeah, I think they patched it for.
I think that's what I heard as well, and I'm hoping they won't have to do that for 2.
Right.
I'm hoping it's just in there out of the gate, but you never know, especially with EA. But I feel like they may have also had a little bit more time to work on this one. I don't know how long they had to work on the first one, but I feel like they knew once the first one was close to being finished, they're like, we're probably going to make a second one.
That's what I think too.
And I feel like they've had more time to work on this one.
I feel like they came in with the expectation of making a second one.
Yes, definitely.
I think that was 100% the thing that they created that first one and they said to themselves, we're gonna make another one of these.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And if I remember correctly, 1 was rushed.
Yeah, there wasn't an
I feel
entire
like
thing
there was
about
an
that.
announcement where they moved the
Yeah.
release date up.
I think there was an entire thing about that.
And I think that had negative impact because they weren't finished with maps. They weren't finished with a lot of the combat stuff. And nowadays, a lot of companies are like, "Oh, well, if it isn't perfect on day 1, we can just patch it later," which is ridiculous. Because if I'm paying a premium for a game, it should work day 1.
Yeah, you would think. You would think, though.
Like even Breath of the Wild had a day 1 patch.
I read something recently about day 1 patches that makes sense to me, where it makes the game more flexible for in the developer sense.
I can see that.
Yeah.
Because you can kind of do what you want.
Yeah, because
then-
it helps them meet their time that they have to meet, and then they're less pressured
Yeah.
before
And
release.
let me make this clear. I don't mind day 1 patches because it's day 1.
Yeah, yeah.
When you get it out of the box and you plug it in and you get the patch, it'll be working. It'll be working the way it's hopefully supposed to be working.
Yeah.
Where they make a game and they hear the complaints and sometimes wait a couple of months to patch it.
I feel like that has to do with money too. I think like if they don't get enough funding, they can't patch it.
Yeah.
You know, I feel like because you have to hire people for that.
Yeah,
And
exactly.
if those people are only contracted until the release date, I'm guessing.
Yeah.
And again, I'm only guessing on this.
When
I-
it's a
I don't
smaller
know.
game and a smaller company, I'm fine with that.
Right.
And I know EA sucks. I know they do.
Yeah.
But when it's a company with that much money, it shouldn't take months to patch this game.
You know, it's the same thing with I mean, that's the reason I'm worried, because look how much they fucked up in Mass Effect.
Yeah.
I was excited for Andromeda. Boy, is that not a good game.
Nope.
It has its moments here and there, but man, I'm disappointed. I'm a huge fan of that series.
Yeah, I've yet to play it, but from everything I've heard, it's kind of 1, but not as good as 1.
Yeah.
Because I'm gonna be honest here, and a lot of people probably hate me for this. I'm not the biggest Mass Effect fan,
That's fine.
and I think part of that is because I've only played 1. I didn't like how it felt. I didn't like how it started.
Yeah.
If
Not to cut you off, but I can tell you right now that Mass Effect 1, those who are, in my opinion, those who are Mass Effect fans will agree with you. Mass Effect 1 was not a well-made game. 2 is what makes the series.
Yeah, that's what I've heard from everyone. So
Yeah.
I'm thinking about. I have 2.
Yeah.
I'm thinking about playing it
You should.
because it gives you the recap.
This
of
is so
1.
creepy, the way this thing's
Isn't
bugging out,
it?
by the way.
Isn't it?
Go on.
Because I know 2. I've heard wonderful things about 2, and I know they recap you on the story.
Yeah. Sorry. That just scared me. That legitimately scared me.
But yeah, I think I'll play 2.
2 is good. Mass Effect 2 is... So they actually have just an interactive comic you can play for 1.
Yeah, I think you told me about.
Yeah, you
and
can...
I need to go and do that.
Yeah, and then you can start. I think you can start up on your Shepherd that way.
Yeah, yeah.
Make your decisions that way, and then that's easier. That just went right through it. Than actually playing.
Yeah.
It's so fucking creepy, dude.
But I've said this before. One of my biggest problems with 1 is every weapon feels the same.
Yeah, that was my complaint with 1 too, and then also the weird off-road stuff was just buggy and didn't work out, and yeah.
I hate when every weapon feels the same.
In a game, yeah. That's kind of why I don't. That's kind of why I've never been a fan of the COD series. You know, I mean, we'll do a COD game podcast later, but that's kind of why I'm not a fan of the COD series too much. I mean, that's why I like the first Black Ops, and that's why I like Advanced Warfare.
I think the older ones, like 1 and 2, and 3, you know, the World War II ones, those weapons all felt good.
Yeah, they did. I think so too. That's what I liked about the Battlefield games.
Yeah,
Because even though they are also modern war weapons, they don't feel like. I feel like I'm being rushed purposely when I'm shooting those guns in COD. That's a personal thing, but I feel like I'm being rushed to do it.
I think that's one thing they did really well with Halo 5 is all the weapons feel different.
Yeah, I agree there.
They felt different in the older ones. Maybe it's not feeling different is what it is. I think they feel like they're actually making an impact.
Yeah. It feels like for the the reload that you have to do, for the amount of shooting that you have to do to get a kill.
Yeah,
and
the way
the payoff feels good.
Yeah, and the way the enemies react.
Yeah.
And the way you kind of react to that recoil.
Yep. Just the entire weapon experience.
It actually feels like they're doing something. Also, I love the sprinting. in the new one.
Mhm.
I love that they finally added that. I didn't play it much. I don't own it, but I played a few levels, and I love the. It looks beautiful.
Right.
And I think the iron sights are nice, and every gun has
I like
a different
those.
iron sight.
Mhm.
Like the alien ones have like the weird hologram iron sights.
Yep.
I think that's really cool.
The design is really nice. You
Oh
know,
yeah.
Like it or hate it, Halo 5 actually is a pretty alright game.
Yeah.
You know, the story wasn't the best, but they're trying to set up for other things. So
Yeah, exactly.
I'm not gonna penalize them for that.
I mean, it looked beautiful.
It did. It looked really good.
My only this is just in games in general. But you know, Nathan Fillion is in Nathan Fillion of Firefly
Yeah,
and Castle and stuff. Is
You mean he's in everything? Because he is in everything.
He is in everything.
He's in everything.
But he's in Halo 5. I guess he was
Yeah.
in a few of the other ones too.
Mm-hmm.
And like, I'm fine if it's just his voice, but they did motion capture for him, and it kind of takes me out of the game.
Yeah, when
When it's
it's
just like,
mocapped.
oh, that's not that character. That's just that actor.
Yeah, I can agree.
Because like, I feel like if I played, which Call of Duty was it with Spacey?
That was Advanced Warfare, and honestly, he was well placed in there, in my opinion. It felt because the cutscenes themselves felt like they were written to be
Yeah.
like kind of not a movie, but like a story.
Yeah.
So it felt like Kevin Spacey it felt like he belonged there. It didn't feel like it was like a cash grab.
Yeah.
Black Ops 3, I think that's what had what's his name from Law and Order in it.
Yeah, I don't remember his name, but I know what you're talking about.
But I feel like that was kind of more of the cash grab.
But like my thing, it's not even like a cash grab for me. It's just I know who that is and who's playing that character, and it really takes me out of the game.
I get that.
I'm fine if it's just the voice.
They do it for all of them too.
It kind of drives me nuts.
They do it for all of the CODs. Actually, now that I think about it, all of the Call of Duties have had a celebrity thing, right?
Well, I think people are speculating on who's going to be in the next one.
I don't think it's good to even have to speculate. Just make a character for the game.
Exactly.
Like everyone remembers Roach. Everyone remembers what was his name? The Irish dude from Modern Warfare, from Call of Duty 4.
I don't remember.
So in Call of Duty, the early like Call of Duty 4 had some characters that many people remember.
Yeah.
That were just made up characters.
Yeah.
You know, and people regard them as some of the best characters in video games just because of what happens in the scenarios you're in with them. And I wouldn't go as far as saying they're the best characters in video games for myself personally, but I do remember the situations I was in with them. I do remember those.
Especially for that genre of game.
Exactly. I think that was the real impact.
I think it's good for that genre of game. Because there was never something like that before.
Right.
I think the only time having an actor I knew play a character and it didn't take me out of the game because he did it so well was Danny Tamborelli as Jimmy DeSanta in Grand Theft Auto 5.
Yeah.
Because I've seen Danny Tamborelli my whole life. He was in all that. He was in Pete and Pete. I grew up with him.
Yep.
But him as that character just worked really, really well. And I think part of that too was the character wasn't constantly in the game.
Yeah.
So it wasn't constantly taking you out of it. But I think Nathan Fillion's character in Halo was in like every mission you did.
Yeah, he was part of your team. He
And
was one of Master Chief's like old squad. Or
Yeah, it
whatever
was
the
just
hell,
like
yeah.
this is no.
Yeah.
I did like part of the story I liked about 5 was you kind of were hunting down Master Chief, and that was kind of cool.
Yeah, the story itself is like, oh my god, seriously, that thing is overpowered. But a lot of that story was Chief himself was realizing that like he needs to survive. Like I think part of it was like Cortana is going evil, or she's just starting to break. I guess I don't really know. She's not really going evil. It's just that she's I don't know. I think she's just malfunctioning or
like
something.
going like
Yeah, and Chief himself is kind of going rogue in it, you know. And
I think that's an interesting idea because for the
Just
longest
do.
time, one of the most iconic heroes
in video games,
gaming was Master Chef.
yeah,
and
for the
like,
longest time.
Everyone was like, "Oh, I love Master Chef. He's the best boy. He's so good at
Yeah,
killing."
he's the best homie.
But I like that they turned that on its head. Because not a lot of companies would do that. Like, it'd be really weird to have a game where, you know, Link was the new Ganondorf.
I don't. I'm not about it.
I don't know. I think it'd be kind of interesting.
I mean, didn't they do that with what game was it where you fight a skeleton as the final boss? Which Legend of Zelda was that?
There wasn't one where you fought a skeleton, but there's one where you fight Shadow Link.
There's Shadow Link. Isn't there one where one of the bosses in the game is like a big skeletal dude, and
I mean, there's a big skeleton boy in Twilight Princess.
I think that's the one. I think it's the one I'm thinking of. I think that the speculation for that is that is another Link.
No, you don't. The one you fight isn't the other Link.
Okay.
The one who teaches you techniques
Oh, okay, gotcha.
is
Gotcha.
supposed to be
the other
the
Link?
hero of time.
Okay, gotcha.
Because he has a lot of things. He says a lot of things that point towards that.
Okay, I watched a video one because Legend of Zelda lore is another one of those things that I unfortunately never got to.
Yeah.
Never got to like spend much time on, so I try to learn from everyone.
Zelda lore is one of the things that keeps me up at night. I'm not as versed in it as I used to be, but boy howdy was I. Like back in the day, but when I say back in the day, I mean like a year ago.
Yeah.
It was bad. Like I was like, oh man, that'd be so cool if this was a thing.
Oh my goodness.
But yeah,
didn't they just officially came out with a timeline for that, right?
That was a few years ago.
Yeah.
That was when Skyward Sword came out.
Yeah, they had a book for it and everything. Right?
I love that book. I have the book. It's a nice book. It was originally Japanese only, and then Dark Horse
That's pretty rad.
translated it.
Thank you, Dark Horse.
A lot of people had problems with the timeline because it splits into 3.
That's what I've
One
always
of them's
heard.
technically an alternate universe because Link dies.
Right.
But I think everything's pretty well placed. The big debate now is where Breath of the Wild falls.
Yeah.
Because there are so many things in that point it towards one timeline, and then so many things that point it towards another. Some people think it's all the other timelines converging back into one.
Which would be kind of a cool thing.
It'd be interesting.
That'd be a pretty rad concept, yeah.
Because
I mean, it's not like that series hasn't had magic that's good, that's well off enough to not do that.
Exactly.
You know? Yeah.
Because there's species in Breath of the Wild that are only in Wind Waker.
Yeah.
But then there's enemies that were only in the NES games.
Yeah, that's true.
And it's like, ugh.
Yeah.
And then there's items that could point toward the Great Sea from Wind Waker being gone, or it can point toward the sea, the ancient sea from Skyward Sword. And it's just like, where does this go?
I hope that it's just to kind of wrangle back to Battlefront 2. I hope that they put that level of detail.
Oh, I do too.
In their story.
I do too.
Because just as robust as that is just as robust as like these games are, you know.
And I think that serves Star Wars really well.
Yeah.
And I think they should do that.
Because this game is steeped with lore. I mean,
it is.
Look at the difference in all the maps we just played in the beginning from just playing new game.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I feel like that's what they need for the next one.
I think what they need to do. So this story was great. The story in this, and this story was canon at the time.
Yeah.
It's no longer canon. What I'm hoping they're trying to do with the new Battlefront 2 is kind of do this, but make it canon.
Yeah. Yeah.
And from what I've heard of the storyline, it sounds pretty interesting in the new one. And I think they do need to get every type of media in and have things be canon.
I do too. Honestly, it's...
I mean, that's what they did when Shadows of the Empire came out.
Yeah.
Shadows of the Empire was a multimedia thing. There was the book, there was the game. I think there was an audio thing as well in conjunction with that.
Yes, yeah, I think so.
And
I think when I was reading before we did this,
I think
this
there
Gamecast,
were
I
even
think
there were talks of a show.
Yeah.
For Shadows of the Empire that never came to fruition, but they wanted this to be a thing, and it was canon, and it was cool. And there's speculation that some of it still is canon. I mean, Dash Rendar's ship.
Yeah.
Is in in the newest special edition of Episode 4. It flies out of Mos Eisley. But we don't know if Dash Rendar's in that ship.
Right.
I remember before Rogue One came out, everyone was speculating it was going to be a Dark Forces movie. Because the guy who directed it, or the guy who wrote it, I can't remember which, loved Dark Forces.
Okay.
And there's some story similarities there. There's a little bit. But if you actually go back and look at Dark Forces, Kyle Katarn isn't actually he doesn't get the whole Death Star plan. There's like 5 pieces of it that you need to come together. He's just getting one part of it.
Oh, he's just getting one part of that.
Yeah.
Okay. So the Death Star, at least in that version of the story, is still being assembled.
Yes. I mean, it was.
So it was a little more. At least the decision making was a little more practical than the way it was represented in the movie.
Yeah, it was still kind of being assembled in Rogue One.
Okay.
Because there was they do some test firings in Rogue One
Mm-hmm.
that aren't the full power of the battle station.
Right, right.
Because, in Episode 4, Grand Moff Tarkin goes, let's show them the full power of this fully operational battle station.
Yeah.
And that's when they finally blow up a planet for the first time.
Right, right. Okay. That makes... Man.
But yeah, Rogue One's, I like Rogue One.
I need to see it. I do want to see it.
There are complaints about it. People say the characters are bland. And I'm like, yeah, they're alright, whatever.
That's what I figure. I'm just like, I mean... Let's just, in my opinion, it's like look at it visually,
Yeah.
Just look at it for visual storytelling, and it fills in some gaps here and there, and that's pretty much what it's for. It's not gonna revolutionize or retell anything.
Exactly. I also get the complaint of people going, you didn't need to tell this story.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yeah, you don't need to tell it, but I feel like they told it in a pretty good way.
Yeah, I feel like it definitely gave, again, it goes into making the world more interesting. I mean, you have a new batch of Star Wars fans here,
Exactly.
that exists now, and and I'm not even just talking about kids. I'm talking about the older people who never really gave this series, the chance before.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I mean, the way things are, the way media is nowadays, you have to bring them in somehow, and I think that's the best way to do it.
Definitely.
Give context to the thing that they know about, but may not have experienced in this way.
Yeah. And a lot of people said this was more of a war movie than a Star Wars movie, and I think that's cool. I don't need it. It still felt like Star Wars. It was still in this used universe.
Yeah, exactly.
But it was a war movie, which I think is cool, because this is a war.
It is, exactly. I was like, it's called Star Wars. I'm not, not even, for no play on reason. There's a war happening.
Like 100%.
Yeah, exactly.
In the original trilogy, it's like, here's a war. This is a war.
Exactly.
And it's nice to see more of that war.
And it is cool, and that's the thing I liked about Rogue One. It represented this as a war.
Yeah.
And two-dimensional characters, that thing just destroyed me. Two-dimensional characters, cool. You know what I mean? Whatever. I understand wanting to go in your movie and see an Oscar-winning movie every fucking time you sit in a theater,
a lot
but
of war movies have two-dimensional characters.
Exactly,
so,
because people die.
Something's gonna happen.
Exactly.
With them, so
people die. You don't want to write this big, robust, super fucking amazing character, and then 4 seconds into your movie they get shot in the head.
That's how it works in horror movies.
I was gonna say, not everything is Game of Thrones and/or Dark Souls.
Exactly. It would be nice to have more depth, but I understand why there wasn't.
Exactly.
Apparently, there were also a lot of deleted scenes that would have given more depth.
Mm-hmm. But I guess at the same time, it makes sense why not put them in.
Yeah, I'm hoping to do an extended cut at some point.
You also don't want to make your movie purposeless or lose the direction of it.
No.
Because you add too much to your characters eventually, and then, all right, well, Rogue One starts becoming its own entity in the universe.
Exactly, and they didn't want that to become a thing. Because that's not the main story here. It's part of the story, but it's not the main story. I think what it does well is it shows the universe is big. Yeah. But it's also very small and in the grand scheme of things unimportant.
Yeah, compared to this, like a Grandmaster situation, there's so much other shit going on in this universe that you never know exactly whenever.
And they're just one galaxy.
Yeah.
The universe is much bigger than
that exactly. It's just the one galaxy, so it's like, of course you're gonna have this small, timely story. Of course, not every character is gonna make a return. We're not gonna see anyone from Rogue One necessarily in Episode 8. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly.
So it's just a historical telling. It's like any history. You watch any type of history movie, you're not going to see George Washington, in The Return of Washington, 2017.
I mean, that'd be really cool.
That'd be super rad.
But yeah, that's not going to happen.
Someone please get the fuck on that. J.J. Abrams, I'm looking at you.
Cast Conan O'Brien.
Please, cast Conan O'Brien.
Great Washington.
Oh my god, he'd make a beautiful Washington. But I think we got to wrap this.
Yeah, I think we do too. We didn't get to play the new one.
We didn't get to play the newer one, but that's fine. I think Battlefront 2 definitely holds its own entertainment.
Maybe we'll do another one with the EA Battlefront.
That'd be a good idea.
Just comparing it to this one.
Yeah.
We have to figure out more stuff to talk about, but
I think for that one we can definitely get into more modern Star Wars like games.
Yeah,
and
definitely.
Predictions for games and stuff. We can talk about the Force Unleashed.
Yeah.
And stuff like that. Yeah.
That'd be good to do.
That'd be a good one. Yeah.
No, I'm down with that.
Yeah, great. All right, guys. Make sure to leave a rating. I keep saying that. It's not old YouTube anymore. We're in NewTube. This is NewTube. Leave a like, guys. We have thumbs now.
Hey, comment if you want.
Yeah, even
subscribe.
Comment. Fucking start an argument. I don't know. Star Wars has a lot of that.
Give us a scrabble.
Give us a Scrabble. I want a Scrabble. Give us like 2 Scrabbles.
2 Scrabbles at least.
Listen, you got a friend? Tell your friend to go
Yeah, tell your friend to Scrabble.
Yeah. And we'll catch you later for the next Gamecast.
Have a good time listening.
I'm gonna fly into the ship.
They already listened.
Star Wars!
Oh, bonsai.
See you guys later.
Have a good one.